This is the first episode of my supplement reviews series, and I decided to kick it off with Saw Palmetto, which is one of the more recent additions to my supplement regimen. I take quite a few different supplements. I think I'm up to about 10 right now, and I've taken supplements my whole life. I started with multivitamins as a kid, and my dad also grew up with multivitamins, and my grandfather also took supplements. In fact, I have a container here. This was his container. We got it out of his old house. Neutralite food supplements. And he actually, when this container emptied, he used it for laundry quarters, which is kind of funny. But we also found a glass jar, like a brown glass jar of vitamin C, empty one of vitamin C supplements. That's what the label said they were. But anyway, I decided to start with Saw Palmetto, and the reason for that is because it's actually the one supplement I've taken that has given me not just results I could feel, but actually visible results. And I first researched Saw Palmetto as a, like it says right there, prostate health supplement, because I'm in my 30s and I'm not really experiencing any prostate issues yet, but I thought it might be good to start taking Saw Palmetto as a preventative measure. And it wasn't until after I'd already ordered some online that I did more research, and I actually found out that another main use for Saw Palmetto is for hair regrowth. And I actually read some articles claiming that Saw Palmetto works at least as well, if not better, than Rogaine, or minoxidil, which is the generic name for Rogaine. And I thought, wow, well, that's a bonus. And I've had a full head of hair my entire life, but I have noticed in the last 5 years or so, my hair getting thinner. It's not receding or anything, but it definitely started looking like it was thinner on top, and it was starting to bother me because I really like my hair. It's kind of one of my favorite things about my appearance. So I thought, well, I'd like to, if I can do something about that, that's great. And Saw Palmetto has an interesting history. It's actually a fruit that comes from a dwarf palm tree in the American Southeast. And these berries were known by the Native Americans. And I actually watched a video in which a guy tasted one, and he said that the Spanish conquistadors described it as tasting like tobacco wrapped in Gouda cheese. And he said that's actually a pretty accurate description of what the stuff tastes like. I've never tasted it. I've only taken it in supplement form. But apparently the Native Americans were aware of it, and they would take it for as a health supplement. They would eat them just as plain food, but then also it was a staple in their medicine. And some people even claim that Saw Palmetto was the source of a lot of legends in early America of a fountain of youth existing in the Americans somewhere in Florida, Georgia, in that area in the American Southeast, because this stuff gained quite a reputation for making people look and feel younger. And I wouldn't exactly call it a miracle worker, but I took this stuff, and if there's one thing I have noticed, it's that I think my hair, I've taken it a year now. I started taking it last November, so it's been exactly a year now. And in that year, I've definitely noticed my hair getting thicker. Like my hair just looks better. Probably looks about like it looked when I was in my late 20s. So I'm kind of back to the way it looked about 10 years ago. And it's pretty unmistakable. It's it really was starting to get to be a problem for me, like self-esteem wise, and this seemed to really do the trick. It kind of, I could even see the new hairs growing in, because I comb my hair back, and then you can see all of the small hairs that are not yet long enough to be combed back kind of sticking up, and that's where the new hairs are that didn't used to be there. So it really worked for me. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to anyone with severe baldness or male pattern hair loss because that's a genetic thing, and I don't think that any supplement can really help with that. In my case, it wasn't that I was going bald, it's just that my hair wasn't looking as healthy as it used to look. And the scientific claim is that saw palmetto helps men to preserve their good testosterone. There's testosterone, and then there's the form that of testosterone that's a byproduct of testosterone. I think it's called di testosterone, di something. I'm sorry, I'm just giving you the very basic rundown of it, but it's a form of testosterone that you get when your regular testosterone breaks down, and apparently saw palmetto helps prevent that from happening. And it's apparent in this breakdown of testosterone is one of the main causes of aging in men. So and it can cause hair loss, lack of energy, lots of different things. So don't quote me on any of that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist, but I have found this stuff to be very useful. I like it. I'll probably take it for the rest of my life. You can see there are two different colors of them in there. That's because I bought two different brands, and you do want to watch out and for the dosages, because some of them have much higher dosages than others. This one is a lower dosage because it's made from, I think it's made from, because from the whole herb, and that means that it's not as concentrated. It's not just the berries. I think that means that they basically just ram the entire plant into a grinder and just, so I would keep a close eye on that. But anyway, it's good stuff, and thanks for watching my first episode. We'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this supplement. Have you taken it? Have you seen good results? What does your hairline look like? I'd love to know.